Matthew 6 verse 21. Matthew 6:21. So God is watching the giving of the people. Why? Because the proof of a man's submission is where his treasures go. The proof of a man's submission. This year, the people here, you have touched 10 million this year. Some of you have touched 50 million. Some of you have touched 1 full million. But your thanksgiving that you came with, God gave me a shocker yesterday. For where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. So when you begin to give your treasure to house, to money, to school, to industry, it is very important. But when you not give it to God, where will your heart be? Your heart will be in that car that you bought. It will be in that gear you sponsored. It will be in that camera you bought. It will be in that company you established. But it will not be in God's house. You know the reason why you miss services is because your heart is not here. Because your treasure is not here. How will David miss services when he sponsored everything? Mark 12 verse 41 to 44. Let me show you that spirit observe thanksgiving and offering. One of the most spiritual points of every service is offering. And so devil has brought many misconceptions around it. Churches are eating post money. This is that. And then fools are having them. Where did Jesus sit in church? Why are they counting offering in that church? Why are they saying what people gave? Well, let's look at the Bible. How many of you believe in Jesus here? This is what your Jesus, my Jesus, did. Once already go. And Jesus sat over against the treasury. That means he sat opposite the offering basket. And beheld how the people cast money into there. So he was checking how they are giving offering. As we speak now, as you come here, God looks at you. No, Pastor, it's wrong. Bible says God looked at the heart. One time in scripture, and it was in accordance to qualification for kingship. The man that God looked at his heart was the highest giver. Don't let religious scriptures make you cheat yourself of honor. It says he saw how they cast in their money to the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. Most of you say, this is my widow's mite, and your husband is not dead. You are a single sister saying you are giving widow's mite. It means you have killed the man that plans to marry you. How can a non-widow be giving widow's mite? I will tell you what widow's mite means. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make it a fatten. You will understand very soon that the widow's mite is actually your all. It says, and he called unto his helper and said, so he was teaching them. He was using people's giving to teach. Verily, I say unto you that this poor widow has cast in more than all they which have cast in the treasury. Why? Next verse. Zanakuza. For all they did cast in their abundance. But she of her want did cast in all she had. Even. No, I didn't hear you. Even. You gave widow's mite and went back with phone. You have an iPhone and you gave widow's mite. You are a. Swallow it. Have you swallowed it? You gave widow's mite and your dress is 30,000. You gave widow's mite and the hair on your head is polygamous mite. Zanakuvalai nazuvai. You have Odogu vibes and you have widow's mite. Okay. Zanakuviliza. May you not kill your husband before he comes. So the widow gave all. So what is widow's mite? It means giving all. And there's what they call deceptive all. You waste money throughout the year. Then now during Thanksgiving, you now bring something and say, that's all I had. Well, we will do a check very soon. Give unto Caesar. When widows who were poor, people that were poor, lost their husbands, the government had an agreement, sir. They gave them these 2 coins. When they go to a shop and open their hand, when they see the coin in their hand, they know that this one does not have money. So they give her what she wants. She wants to eat rice. She goes to the rice shop, shows the mite. They say, oh, give her rice. She goes to buy tomato, shows it. Give her tomato. She goes to buy a car, shows it, they give her the car. So that was an ATM for limitless withdrawal. So when she gave those coins, she gave what she had and what she could ever have inside that money. The most spiritual time of every fraternity is the time of sacrifice. The most spiritual time of every fraternity is the time of giving. Let nobody lie to you. The demonic realm does not play with your sacrifice. If you look at how the Muslims give, you will understand. These guys guys are trying to achieve something, because in the spiritual realm, it is not majority that wins the vote, it is sacrifice that wins the vote. The other day, Israel had a battle against the king of Moab, and when the battle was too sore for him, there was no time to re-strategize and to refix their arsenals, and quickly the king said, bring me my only son, who should be heir in my stead. He took the son, put on the wall, and slew the son. When God saw the sacrifice, it was a mockery to God that a man in darkness can do more for his God. God began to fight the church in his jealousy. Ladies and gentlemen, when your wedding cost you 5 million and your thanksgiving is 100,000, you are giving to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and giving to Caesar what belongs to God. I feel like teaching the word. The Lord spoke to me just yesterday night. He says, the Bible declares, bring all your tithes, and he explained to me that when you pay your tithe, we now have what they call the cumulative tithe. All you receive for the year, the 10% at least must be your thanksgiving. So God spoke to me, if what you came to thank God with is not up to a tithe of the year, then you just came to slap the face of God. I feel like preaching the word. You have used God's money to build your company. You have used God's money to travel abroad. Nothing resurrects Jehovah Kwana. The jealousy of God, like when you spend more on the cares of this life than you spend on the Lord.